Okay, that's enough out of you. I think it's time for the world to get a taste of the new me. And this is only the beginning.
Well, that's what I intend to answer today. Alright, how's it going, everybody? My name is Gab22, and if you can't tell by now, I've actually been a pretty big fan of Sonic. I think that reveals a couple things. But anyway, I've been a really big fan of Sonic lately. All my life. I even have my own Chaos Emerald. Isn't that awesome? And with that came a lot of just defending Sonic, really, because lately he's been doing a lot of crap, and more crap. Looking at you, Sonic Fire and Ice. I'm afraid of how bad that's gonna be. Anyway, but with the bad always comes some good, which is what you just saw. That is a small animation made by Chakra-X, and his, well, better known on the internet by Chakra-X. His real name is Aaron Cowdery. And he was actually kind enough to let me use the footage of the video he just uploaded, I think at like, what, 11 today? Oh, yeah. What is today? Oh, I know you're 88% charged. August 16th, yeah. Today's the August of 16th. That was posted about, like, 7 hours ago, I think. Yeah, 7 hours ago, he posted a little teaser trailer on the sequel of his amazingly made Flash animation that was called Nazo Unleashed. And I watched that when I was a little kid, when it came out. I think I was 7 years old when the last part came out. And I watched it and I was just blown away because I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z as well, and I was like, whoa, this is both at the same time. It was really cool. So I've been a big fan of his. I don't know if he's watching this video right now, but if he is, hey, yeah, I'm a huge fan. It's awesome. And the little teaser trailer he released has asked a couple questions at the end, which you just saw. If you want me to replay it, I'm gonna replay it. So there you go. I intend to answer all 3 of these questions and do some sort of game theory style thing, so let's switch to his style. So, the very question we get asked is, what has Eggman done to Nazo? So, we know that Eggman did something because clearly you can see in the background that Eggman's logo is there, plus at the end of the 3rd episode of Nazo Unleashed, you can see Eggman picking up the ring, or one of the cuffs, that Nazo left behind. So now we know that Eggman did something to Nazo to bring him back alive. What we can see is a chest piece on Nazo, which is probably a source of power as far as I can tell. It might be what gives him the ability to turn into his new mint color chaos thing mabob. That's actually a throwback to something that he worked on. It was actually originally supposed to be Perfect Nazo, but if you go back and watch the video that Chakra-X posted himself, then you can see that it was a throwback to what Perfect Nazo was originally supposed to look like. So it's not exactly supposed to represent anything other than a reference to what that was. And he also mentions that the only reason he added Eggman picking up the ring was so that he could make a sequel in the future whenever he felt like it. So with that on the table, we know for sure we can remove anything that could be in the first part, or the first anything of we could remove anything that is in Nazo Unleashed as a possible reference, because he was never planning to have this as a sequel back then. So that's off the table. So what he has done is possibly infuse Nazo with a fake emerald. That's possibly... I'm just spitballing here, but it's very possible because if we see in Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Tails has created a fake emerald that was almost as powerful as the real emerald. Almost that even a machine couldn't tell the difference, and we know that Tails is akin smart as Eggman, so we know that Eggman could be possible of the same feat. And if Nazo could have power over Chaos that much, it's probably because he has an emerald with him at all times, just like Shadow. Shadow has a very strong connection with Chaos energy, and that's because he's usually not without his trusted green emerald. That's probably what it is, but the chess piece could mean something else. It could just be some sort of life support mechanism. That's always possible. But what my question is, why was that form never implemented in the first part if he was able to use it? That was my question until I realized that the sequel was never meant to be created. If that sequel was meant to be created, then that theory could be used, but since it was never meant to come to the light of day, we can't take off him holding back or anything like that. So it's always possible that it was added by Eggman, but the original concept says otherwise, says it might just be a natural transformation. So what we're gonna have to wait and find out is whether or not it's a synthetic or a natural transformation. So that's possibly what Eggman's done to Nazo. He could have buffed him up a bit, he did revive him, but that answers our first question. The second question in our list of little questions asked by the creator himself is, what powers does Chaos Nazo control? Now, this is an interesting question because not only does it imply that he has new powers, but it implies that he might be able to control something else. Like, is it just a power-up or is it something different? That I can't exactly pinpoint what could be different than Chaos Energy as a simple power-up on its own, but he might be able to control other things such as how strong the emeralds are. He could always weaken certain emeralds so that Sonic or Shadow gets a disadvantage in a fight. Or is he just able to control an unknown chaos force that might show up later in the series? Now, he might be able to control other forces, but that doesn't mean that it's not a power-up. It might just be a perk of the power-up that he's got. Now, we don't know exactly what force that might be. It's very possible that it's just a sort of chaos manipulation, or the ability to use an extra sort of chaos power, different from Chaos Control or Chaos Blast, probably something we haven't seen before that he might just pop up on us. But that's a question that's much harder to answer, but I can give something a little bit, maybe eye-opening.
And this is only the beginning.
Nazo said that it was only the beginning. Is it possible that he has an extra form beyond that, as some sort of Super Saiyan 2 kind of reference? It might be possible that he gains more power over time, and those are all possibilities of the amount of power he can gain from that certain thing, but it's also limited to whether or not it's synthetic or natural. That is something we're gonna have to find out, but if I'm correct, it points towards being synthetic, because he would have used it in his fight with Sonic and Shadow if it was not. So what we can pinpoint of this question is not much, actually. A lot is left in the dark, but what we can say is that it might grow over time. That's not all that he's got in store for us. What powers does he control? Probably just the power of chaos. That's honestly all that I can say, because there haven't been any reveals of new powers yet. So we're gonna have to wait on that question, but it's always possible that something might come up in the future. This question has got to be my favorite question asked. Is it stronger than Perfect Nazo? Now, there's a lot of things that point towards it actually being no, quite surprisingly. What makes it no is the fact that it's the speed that Nazo was able to transform into this. Take a look at how fast he's able to go into this new green form of his. Did you see that? That speed clocked in at about 2 seconds. And that's not even including the little extra bits I left on the clip. So that clocks in at about 1 second for one transformation. Now we're gonna compare that to Perfect Nazo, because that's the question, is it stronger than Perfect Nazo? So let's see how much time it takes for him to transform into that other transformation.
I am pure chaos! Every time this pathetic planet has drawn out negativity of the emeralds, I began to form, until it was too much for the emeralds to suppress. The 7 chaos emeralds and the master emerald, I will go beyond the strength of a god. Perfect chaos is nothing compared to me. Sonic, Shadow, everyone and everything you know is now coming to an end. Witness the raw power of chaos!
Now that transformation clocked in at about 1 minute and 10 seconds. That's an entire 1 minute and 9 extra seconds of powering up. And that doesn't even include Super Perfect Nazo, who was actually the one who absorbed the Super Emerald's power and became even stronger. So now we can pinpoint the fact that he's not really that strong, if it only takes 1 second to power up to that. If we want to compare this to Dragon Ball Z, however, it's true that Goku took about 5 minutes to transform into Super Saiyan 3 for the first time. So we can say that it's about the same in this case, but if we're taking this into a timeline factor, it's very possible that Nazo has just been revived. Now that's what we can take from this, because he doesn't have any physical changes on him, and I wonder why Eggman would wait, or why Nazo would wait to train. I don't think he would. I think his plan would be to just straight up attack with his newfound powers, just like Frieza did in Revival of F. We can take as many Dragon Ball references as we want, Dragon Ball Z in general, because that's what the entire series is based on. Every comment he makes is that it resembles Dragon Ball Z. That was his goal entirely, and if you follow him on Twitter, you'll know that Nazo is basically his gateway to linking Sonic and Dragon Ball Z. So we can take Nazo as a Dragon Ball kind of character. So it's possible he might have just rushed in with the new form he found, although if I say it like that, it sounds like it would be akin to Golden Frieza, which is what happened when he found a new form after 3 months of training and rushed directly to the Saiyans. Although, Eggman would have revived him as soon as possible, and Nazo would have broken out as soon as he could have. It's a low possibility that he was training during some of the time, but it's still a possibility that he's been training and that new form is strong. But what makes my point even higher up the list of possibilities is that he says that there's more to come. There is a limit to people's powers, and possibly even Nazo's. He said that no matter what he did, he would never be able to reach a limit of infinity, or just a level of infinity in general. So we know that his power needs some sort of cap somewhere. So we can say that that green form is possibly weaker than his super form, or his super perfect form for that case. But since he said it's only the beginning, it's possible that he might have something even stronger that hasn't been shown to us yet. So there you go, those are the 3 questions that were asked at the beginning that have been answered. But just like MatPat would say, it's just a theory. A Nazo theory. Thanks for watching. And hey, if you liked that video, why don't you go check out some of my other stuff down in the description. I'm sure you'll like it. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Chakra-X, who gave me full permission to use his little animation that he released today. And I'm really excited for him to see this. If you're watching, hello again. I'm really proud to have been able to do this video. And I hope I get a reply from my theories real soon. So tell me what you guys think of this down in the comments. I am open to anything. This is just my theory so far. This has been released like today. It's 9:11 at night right now, so I've been working on this non-stop. But I would really appreciate it if you just left a like and you'd consider subscribing. That would help me out a lot, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. And hey, if you left I can't talk today. Oh my god. Just like Shadow. Shadow has a really strong connection with the key. The key. I'm thinking about Key Dragon Ball Z. Oh, and that's all limited to whether it's symposium. Help me. I'm so tired. Get me out of this.